I'm going to be covering a PowerPoint on gas tungsten arc welding of pipe. So this is a part 3 of the PowerPoints for Weld 208 Advanced Pipe Welding, or better known as TIG all the way out pipe. So first thing, cup walking. Although the cup walking technique can be used on plate, it is most often used by pipe welders. Plate welders do not often use cup walking because it can be slower than traditional welding techniques. However, many pipe welders like to use it for several reasons. 1, it reduces welder fatigue. 2, better welding torch control. 3, longer welds. 4, higher weld quality. Cup walking setup. The tungsten link should be set so it extends out of the nozzle no more than the diameter of the nozzle opening. If the tungsten sticks out too much, it is more likely to become contaminated by touching the weld or the filler metal. So as you can see right here, maximum tungsten stick out for cup walking, and then the inside diameter of the actual nozzle. Cup walking setup continued. When making the root pass in the first 1 or 2 filler passes, the nozzle diameter should be large enough to touch both sides of the groove edge. So right here you see the groove edge, you have your cup or nozzle touching both of those. Alright? Cup walking technique. During cup walking, both the nozzle and the filler metal are rested on the pipe joint. So as you can see, the cup is resting on both edges, and you have your filler metal touching in that groove. Cup walking technique continued. Moving the top of the torch in a figure 8 pattern first lifts one side of the cup and lets you move it slightly forward. Then the other side of the cup is lifted and it is moved forward. So, as you can see by the diagram, they're making a figure 8 motion. Alright? Cup walking technique continued. Each time the torch moves through the figure 8, it steps slightly forward. Moving your arm is less tiring than moving your wrist. Cup walking technique continued. The nozzle is held firmly against the pipe while only a very light pressure is applied to the filler metal. The firm cup pressure helps the edge of the nozzle to grip the pipe so that it can be stepped forward as a figure 8 pattern is made. With that being said, don't put too much pressure down because then you're always going to slip off your pipe or plate, whatever you're welding on. So make sure it's, a loose grip on your actual torch and not putting too much pressure down. Hot pass. A hot pass can be used to correct some of the problems caused by poor root pass. The hot pass may be hotter than normal filler pass, okay? So if you don't get enough penetration for your root, crank up your amps for your hot pass, and sometimes, so I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, it'll actually push it back through, okay? Root surface. Concave root surfaces are generally caused by insufficient filler metal for the joint. To correct this condition, a hot filler pass is used to add both the needed metal and heat. Lack of root fusion. Incomplete fusion generally is caused by insufficient heat and the temperature for the joint. To correct this condition, a hot pass is used with or without adding more filler metal. Filler pass. The filler pass is the next weld layer or layers to be made after the hot pass. The filler pass should be used to fill up the groove quickly. There should be complete fusion but little penetration. So as you're seeing, root pass, hot pass, filler passes. Cover pass. The stringer bead can be continued to cap the weld. If this technique is used, the bead should overlap the pipe surface no more than 3/32 of an inch. Cover pass. Just showing the cover pass again for the 1G position. So, summary. Often gas tungsten arc welding of pipe is considered to be the most prestigious of the welding processes. It has obtained this status primarily because of where much of the GTA welding of pipe is done. High quality gas tungsten arc pipe welding is performed on nuclear reactors, in petrochemical plants, and in the fabrication of the International Space Station. The constantly changing weld position is the most challenging part of gas tungsten arc welding. Restricted access during welding can challenge a welder's skills. So, with that being said, that was part 3 of this PowerPoint. There's going to be questions, assignments based off of this, so make sure you read back over it. I do have it attached on your D2L. If you have any questions or concerns, please get back with me. Thanks.